What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Early Edge. We've got a great show for you today featuring some soccer, some NFL props, a lot of college football, and more from you, hopefully. Put your picks in the chat. Put your questions in the chat. Let's see how we did yesterday on the recap screen. This is a lot of X's and it's a lot of green check marks. It adds up to 9 wins and 11 losses. Good job, Mackenzie Brooks, going 2-0, but this is pretty scattered. We want to have more wins than losses, and we're going to try to do that today. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of Mackenzie Brooks and Chip Patterson and buckets, by my watch, it's Friday. It's Big Pick Energy Friday, folks.
Whoa!
He knows the
Let's
drill.
go! Yeah! Whoa!
Buckets cooling down his soup. Mackenzie Brooks doing the Arsenio Hall, and Chip doing the Chip Me Up.
Good morning, Sia. Good morning, Buckets. Good morning, kids. Good morning, Snake. Good morning, Early Edge fam. And happy Feast Week. Yes. I know week 13 is crazy that we are at this point in the college football season. You know we got some winners for you there, but Feast Week. It's when we settle in with college basketball on from noon to midnight for the next week and a half. I mean, it is in the Bahamas. It is in Hawaii. It is in a hotel conference room for some reason. But we get our feels for these teams that bring us into January and February, because after the college football season ends, I ain't going anywhere. We will have college basketball winners for you as well. So happy Feast Week and get your notepads out.
I mean, speaking of the Bahamas, Baha Mar is hosting that tournament. St. John's and Baylor coming down to double overtime.
Incredible.
Game winner from Roach, the former Blue Devil. That was such an amazing game. I think Baylor's sneaky this year, but I'll leave the college basketball for now to people like Chip. Buckets, how you doing? Was that soup? Was it coffee? What was going on there?
It was water. I was just trying to, international break is over, so like English Premier League is back. I was doing my best guru impression here. Wanted to kind of just, play the part of it, but I don't drink tea. I think it's disgusting.
Interesting. I mean, tea and water is like basically the same thing. It's like flavored water. Mackenzie Brooks, your opinion on tea?
Opinion on tea. In my adult age, I'm learning that I do like tea. I like a sleepy time tea at night, and I like a morning tea as well, dare I say.
It's funny that you called yourself an adult because I made an Arsenio Hall reference, which is like a 30-year like dated reference. Do you know who Arsenio Hall is by any chance?
No idea.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That's okay. That's totally okay. All right, let's get into Chip. Buckets, you definitely don't know who Arsenio Hall is. Chip, you know Arsenio.
I do know who Arsenio Hall is.
Oh, really? Okay.
I do. Okay. Arsenio Hall is an American comedian, actor, and talk show host.
No.
He hosted a late-night talk show, the Arsenio Hall Show from 1989.
All right. See it. If we're going to do this, Arsenio Hall makes my starting 5 late-night talk shows all time.
Oh, do you have the rest of the 4?
No, but I'm saying like I just know there's a spot for him. Like Letterman.
I totally agree.
Letterman will have a spot. Arsenio will have a spot, and then I'll have to really do some hand-wringing to build it out from there.
We're going to work this out later. All right, for now, I love that. And Buckets, for you pulling up Wikipedia so fast, I got to give you my compliments because that was pretty impressive. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do it on a Friday, right? Chip is going to give out several college football picks. Mackenzie Brooks is going to give out college football picks. But we first start with a Friday Night Lights pick, and it's always from Chip Patterson. Chip, you have the floor.
Okay. All right. The American Athletic Conference. There's a lot of letters there. There's one letter that's not in that. Okay. All right. The AAC. An A and A is C. Do you know what's not in that? There ain't no D. They ain't playing no defense in the American Athletic Conference. These games are absolutely bananas. All of them are high scoring. Everyone has quit playing defense. And what we have tonight is we've got a Temple team that just fired its coach and a UTSA team that has been running it up offensively. So with a key number of 55.5, we just know there ain't no D in the AAC. So we're taking AAC overs.
Okay, I had no idea where you were headed there, and you absolutely nailed it. Like I was, the delivery, everything was amazing. Speaking of good deliveries, Reed Phillips has a top 5. Letterman, Arsenio, I don't know if this is in any order. Craig Ferguson, interesting. He's pretty funny. Conan and Taylor Tomlinson, I've never heard of that person. But we've got a lot of people weighing in on the talk show. Okay, so we have an over in that UTSA game, and Mackenzie, you've got a couple of picks. One of those teams, UTSA, is implicated here. We're taking them, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Chip's right. There is literally no defense being
Yeah.
played here. I just like to isolate UTSA here. I think we can hit the over. I think we can hit the UTSA over, but I think we can hit the spread too for UTSA. And I think that's the quickest one we could hit. So that's my pick for today. Chip mentioned all of it. If we want to get into the numbies just a little bit more, they're averaging 45 points per game at home, and that's up from last year. And then you're talking about a Temple team basically allowing the same amount of points on the road, and that is also up from last year. So simply no defense being played. UTSA also just an objectively better football team on top of that. So I like any version of points of UTSA's side, but for me, the best value for the model is going to be the spread.
Okay, and we have one other college football pick, correct?
Yeah, going back to my SMU Mustangs. I do love them. I know I'm an SEC girl, but the SMU, they are my playoff darlings here. And I think they cover the spread today. I'm on their team totals all the time. This is a team that is just always making me money. And I like their team totals because this is a team always playing for style points, right? If you're in that playoff bubble, you have got to take care of the lesser opponents in your conference. And they typically are doing that. Now, last week was a little bit of a slip up against Boston College, but nobody bounces back like the Mustangs. So this makes me like them even more against UVA. UVA just a team that has simply nothing to play for, not even bowl eligible, I believe. So I like the spread here. Again, any version of team total, any version of SMU positive vibes I'm in on, but I think the spread's also a pretty safe play under that 10 number.
Yeah, Mackenzie always likes to say death taxes, SMU team total. Team total in this game is 33, 34. You can find something under 35. Yeah, I fully endorse that one.
All right. We've got a lot of comments in the chat. Coming to America is the GOAT, says Sites 501. That is a great movie that even in modern day would be funny to people. Like, it stands the test of time, if you will. So good call out there. All right, we already got 3 college football picks in there. Somebody was calling me out. It was Reginald Boomer. He said, "See, I told you, Browns plus the Hornets last night." You were right. Everybody who had the Browns was right. RJ, I believe, had the Browns on that recap screen. Good stuff from all the Browns backers. I missed that one, laying the points there. If you want to make any of the bets you've heard or any of the bets you're about to hear from Buckets, Chip, and myself, new BetMGM customers can sign up today and get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10, and you will receive up to $1,500 instantly if your bet loses with bonus code EDGE. That's bonus code EDGE, EDGE. All right. I believe that Mackenzie Rose Brooks has to head out. Oh, she already headed out. All right. She's got CBS and SportsLine stuff that she needs to do. So we got her picks in, and Buckets, it is your turn. But wait, right after this message from our partners. All right, Buckets, we are back. I tend to remember. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say what I was about to say. I was about to say something about your success specifically on Fridays. I kind of already said it. Sorry. Okay, you've got a few picks. What are they?
We have 3 plays for everyone here today because international break is over. We are back to league plays, Sia. So I've got 3 league matches for us. And Sia, I would not describe myself as a violent person, but I found a line that is so good, it made me angry. I was sitting here physically just clenching and breathing heavily because I was so confused why in League One with PSG and Toulouse, Bradley Barcola is still giving us playable lines. I am taking Bradley Barcola to score or assist at minus 125. That line was at FanDuel. You're definitely going to want to look around because books vary wildly on player props in soccer. But this is the same Bradley Barcola who has the most goals on the team, who in 10 starts for PSG has 10 goals and 2 assists. He is averaging over 1 goal contribution per match. This number should be minus 150, should be minus 175. I should be having to apologize for the juice, but I'm not. It's 125. Take that wager and start your afternoon with a footy win. After that, we are going to the Svein Bundesliga, where we have, Sia, the tough one to pronounce here, SC Prussen Münster taking on FC Cologne. And I'm taking both teams to score, priced at minus 145. I know this is a little bit of juice. And usually when we have a play like this, I say, hey, guys, just add the over 2.5. Try to find a way to bring that juice down. Do not do that in this matchup. Just take the juice here because Münster, they don't play to win. They play not to lose, and 3 of their last 5 matches have ended in 1-1 draws. This is a team that knows how to score 1, and they freak out, and they panic, and they park the bus, and they just try not to lose. They don't care about winning. Again, 1-1, correct score line, plus 550. Maybe not a bad shout here, but just take the BTTS in this one. Third and final play, we've got my beloved Bayern Munich taking on Augsburg, the Kings of Bavaria, and we're once again going for both teams to score. Bayern Munich will probably score 3, 4, 5 goals here. They will blow Augsburg out of the water, but Bayern Munich are a lot like my face here, Sia. They are covered in holes defensively. How do I still have acne like this as a 30-year-old? That doesn't matter. What does matter is that Bayern Munich, for whatever reason, does not play defense against Augsburg. If you look at their last 4 matches, 2-3 Bayern Munich, 3-1 Bayern Munich, 5-3 Bayern Munich, 5-2 Bayern Munich. Augsburg has scored against this best team now for 2 years in a row. Take both teams to score, which is priced at minus 105 for some reason, and let's have ourselves another fantastic Friday.
All right. Those are 2 plays I think I can pronounce, and one that I'm going to have.
You can do Bayern Munich and Augsburg. Augsburg makes it to what, Europa League from time to time?
Yeah, but it's the second one. It's the XC Prolsen, Munster, and Kohn BTTS.
Is it supposed to be Munster cheese?
Is that a cheese?
You know about Munster cheese?
It's hard to pronounce because Prolsen has one of those weird curvy B's in the name. That's like not an English letter. Yeah. I'm guessing Sia.
I'm going to have to like flip over to a new keyboard just to place that bet.
That is funny. Lori Moore says, happy Friday, guys. Chip me up needed after my Steelers loss. Yeah, I guess it was a Steelers loss for me as well. Arthur Smith just running the most like plain 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 plays up the middle repeatedly was very frustrating. I felt like the Steelers were moving the ball well. When they got to 3rd and short, 4th and short, it was the Arthur Smith show. That never ends well. Speaking of NFL, I'm going to go to my pick. I don't have a golf pick. I'll throw out there that like most of the guys are already on the course. There is a 3-ball that I would say is a lean. I'm looking at it right now. It starts in 25 minutes. Again, just a lean, probably a half a unit play because it's plus 140. Daniel Berger plus 140 over Lee Hodges and Trey Mullinax. I do like Daniel Berger to rebound from a pedestrian average day yesterday, and the plus 140 does speak to me a little bit. So not an official play, but if you want some golf this morning leading into this afternoon, I do like the Daniel Berger 3-ball. Sunday, I like Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton over 58.5 receiving yards. So, we have a different attitude about Cortland Sutton since his injury 2 years ago. And I don't think anybody thinks he's ever really going to get back to what we thought he was going to be 3 years ago. Well, I think he's back. The last 4 games, he has eclipsed his 58.5 receiving yards by a ton, a couple of 100+ yard games and a couple in the 70 and 80s. He's averaging almost 10, or I should say he's averaging 10 targets a game, and he's catching 6 to 7 balls a game, and he's leading the team in air yards by a lot. He's got like 40% of the air yards. And as you might imagine, he's leading in target share as well. Other receivers kind of getting into the mix, but Cortland Sutton is like that number 1 receiver for Bo Nix, who's slated to throw for, I think, like 225 passing yards. I really like Cortland Sutton to get the lion's share of that. I think I think this line should be probably 63.5, if not 67.5. And I do expect him to get to 70. So give me Cortland Sutton over a bad Raiders team, a banged up Raiders secondary, over 58.5 receiving yards. Chip, we're back.
Can Bo Nix win Rookie of the Year? Is that on the table?
He can if Jaden Daniels is injured the rest of the season. Anybody who thinks that Jaden Daniels hasn't been injured over the last 4 games and that's why his throws aren't like basically showing up in receivers' hands. I mean, it's really obvious, but a lot of people are talking about him like, oh, he's just not that great. It's like clearly the rib cartilage issue. It's the same rib cartilage issue that Justin Herbert suffered from, like, I think it was 2 seasons ago, where for 4, 5, 6 games, he just wasn't that good. So I do think, to your point, if Jaden Daniels rebounds even a little bit from that injury, which I suspect will start.
Enough work has been done with like the campaign as a whole.
And to be honest, this is something I said on the show yesterday. If Jaden Daniels has just an okay game and Bo Nix has another good game, those odds are going to get even closer together. I think it's a great time at that point to actually jump on a Jaden Daniels line, because that line will be longer than it should be, and Bo Nix will be shorter than it should be. And don't forget, Washington has an easy schedule the rest of the way. So I think Jaden Daniels will rebound. He is, to me, clearly the Rookie of the Year.
Cool.
All right. So we move on from the NFL, Chip. Buckets, what are you smiling about? What's going on over there?
I just have no idea what you guys are saying.
Yes.
I think like 2 months ago, I threw out the fact that Miami Hurricanes player might win Rookie of the Year, Player of the Year, whatever. So I don't know
that was the Heisman Trophy. It was Cam Ward was who you were supporting.
Okay. Is that different than what you guys are talking about then?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
That's college.
Like, and also not if
layers to this one. I know you can move on.
Like it's not even the MVP, right? You know, we're talking about then the rookie of the year.
Indeed. But Buckets, your wheelhouse. Brad Betts has a bet in here. It looks like Celtic Vigo versus Barcelona will smash that over. So check out Brad Betts bets in the chat, his soccer bets in the chat. All right, we transition back to the college football.
With the Miami Hurricanes.
2 more picks.
Hey.
Oh, wow. See, Buckets knows what he's doing.
Buckets
he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
This is an act. Go.
But Miami Hurricanes, they might have kind of a sleepy start. So they're coming off a bye. We remember the last time we saw them was the heartbreaking loss to Georgia Tech. And the one thing you want to do after a loss is just get back on the field, play the very next week. And instead, they've kind of had to stew on it. So they're trying to hit the reset button, make sure that they win the ACC, make sure that they get a bye in the college football playoff. But I'm just expecting it to be at noon Eastern in Hard Rock Stadium, a little bit slow to get going. They're playing against Wake Forest, a team that when they're at their best, run and tempo, slow mesh, they can close the talent gap with the best in the ACC. That ain't happening this year with Hank Bachmeier. So I just see a little bit of a clunky start. This is a huge number to be able to cover. Now, when Miami might just want to lean on that run game late to make sure that they're ready to go for the finale at Syracuse. Okay, that's at noon. Then in the 3:30, I don't know why this has become my war this week, but I just think Texas is remarkably better than Kentucky. Kentucky has lost 4 SEC games in a row, and the one thread through all of them is they just can't finish. And while Texas is definitely guilty of some slow starts this season, they stay aggressive and they pour on points late. Even the Arkansas game, you're scoring that late touchdown to make it 10. Against Florida, late touchdowns to just turn it into a complete blowout. I expect that they'll do the same. I think Texas can cover 20.5 and win this thing by 3 touchdowns.
All right, we do have a question, Chip, from Jeff Stenberg about the Indiana team total over. Any thoughts on that? Looks like, according to Jeff, it's 20.5 at -115.
Number one, Jeff, and anyone who is listening and not watching, do not cash out your 401k for a team total bet in week 13 of the college football season in America. Okay? I know things look a little bleak out there, but I would not throw it on the team total over on the road in the Horseshoe. That said, 20.5 is a good number. I'm generally on the under for this game. I think it will be a lower scoring, so you'd come really close. Like you might finish at 17, but I also kind of like Indiana in the points. I know somebody was asking about that earlier. If it's still at 11.5, I don't know if it'll touch 10, but it could by the time we get to kickoff.
Yeah, very interesting stuff there. A lot of opinions on the Bo Nix talk, too. Just to be clear, because Mark Buchholz and some others weighed in saying, hey, Bo Nix has a chance. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. I'm saying it's a bet I would not make because I think Jaden Daniels is the right side of the rookie of the year. So just some thoughts there on that. Buckets, we have a question about Monaco Brest, both teams to score from Wheelman 185. Any thoughts there?
Monaco is such a frustrating team to bet on. They're the equivalent of, I'm going to try my best here, the Miami Hurricanes in college football. Maybe
inconsistent.
Inconsistent. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Honestly, yes. Monaco will either win this game 4-0 or it will be 0-0 in the 80th minute. I would stay off of both teams to score because you're really just betting on will Monaco give a damn this game or not. And that's hard to predict.
Fair enough. This type of insight you can find in the SportsLine Discord. Brock Newsom is saying, insight that comes from being in the Discord, that's the SportsLine Discord, alone is worth the subscription to SportsLine. If you are a subscriber to SportsLine, you got to be in the Discord. It's literally free to SportsLine subscribers. So make sure you go here, discord.gg/SportsLine. That'll get you right into the Discord. There's channels for every sport. You can talk to anybody who's in there. That includes all of you in there, but a lot of the experts from SportsLine in there as well. So make sure you are signed up for SportsLine. And if you are, make sure you get to that link and you get into the Discord so you can talk to all of us really throughout the weekend. You'll see us in there periodically, some more than others, but we've got some like really talented people that are in the Discord a lot. Buckets, go ahead.
I do want to say, even just as early as yesterday, Martin Green, who was known as the guru, the English football capper we have here, him and I were doing some kind of collab live plays in the Discord. We were watching some of the Women's Champions League games and betting together. And I think we went 2-1 on those. So just some extra value. Even if you're sitting at work, have it open on your phone and you can kind of see stuff from everyone.
Speaking of you and Martin, I think I don't want to. I'm gonna go ahead and just break the news. I think it's next week. So everybody just stay tuned. I might be wrong on this. You and Martin Buckets are going to be appearing together, which I think might be the first time. I know you've done it on HQ and CBS Sports Network, but you're going to be appearing together on this show next week. How do you feel about that?
It is our first time doing an early edge show together since October 14th, 2022. So it's been over 2 years since we've done the early edge together. That changes on Wednesday. So you do not want to miss that show.
Wow.
We are full force for holiday week. So don't think we're missing a lot of shows. You're going to see the early edge. You're going to see all the football stuff. We've got the Thursday night slate, the Thursday Thanksgiving slate, the Friday night football slate. Like there's going to be a lot going on next week. So make sure you have your notifications on. Make sure you're tuned in to all things SportsLine and CBS Sports. All right, let's take a look at the recap screen before we get out of here. If you're looking for more picks, again, go to SportsLine. We'll have them all weekend. I've got Cortland Sutton this Sunday over 58.5 receiving yards. I really think this line should be in the 63.5 range, if not higher. Mackenzie Brooks, UTSA minus 16.5 and SMU minus 19.5. That UTSA game is tonight. Chip Patterson, Temple, UTSA over 55.5. Miami, Wake Forest under 66.5. And Texas minus 20.5. Buckets. Bradley Barcola, TSOA minus 125. What's that stand for again? Or assist, score or assist. What's the T stand for though?
2.
Okay, we don't need the T in TSOA. That should be SOA. Yes. What are we doing, soccer? Come on, man. Fix it. SC, Pruben, Munster, and Köln, both teams to score minus 145. And Bayern Munich, Augsburg, both teams to score minus 105. We need the T, says SportsLine. Completely disagree. That is a huge error on behalf of soccer. Lori Moore says, good luck all. Have a great Friday. Let's have a great Friday. Let's have a great weekend. We'll see you in the Discord. We'll see you on more Early Edge content. Don't forget Early Edge primetime Sunday night, but we got a lot coming at you on this channel and at CBS Sports Network. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Mackenzie Brooks, who had to leave us early, Chip Patterson, Buckets, Jake the Snake on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s, and all of you that are always in the chat, hitting the like button, participating with our family. We really appreciate it. Let's have a great Friday. I'm the Counselor of Cash. This is the Early Edge. We rest our case.